Is Samsung really going to switch processors in one of its most popular foldable phones? That's the question shaking up the tech world right now, because if the latest reports are true, the upcoming Galaxy Z Flip 7 might be taking a very different path than expected. With Samsung's big Unpacked event just around the corner, likely in July, we're starting to get more and more leaks, and one recent report from the Korean media is turning heads. It claims the Galaxy Z Flip 7 will be powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon chip like many assumed. Instead, Samsung might be going with its own Exynos 2500 processor, a move that would be a first for any Galaxy Flip or Fold model. Now, on paper, this sounds like a smart business move. Using their own chips could help Samsung cut production costs and rely less on Qualcomm. That could give them more control over their supply chain and possibly even push Qualcomm to lower prices for their high-end Snapdragon 8 Elite processors. But there's a catch. The Exynos line hasn't exactly had the best reputation in recent years. In fact, the Exynos 2500 was originally rumored to power the Galaxy S25 series. That didn't happen, likely because of yield issues. Basically, Samsung wasn't making enough good chips to use them at scale. So naturally, hearing that the same processor could now end up in the Flip 7 is raising some concerns. Yes, reports say production of the chip has stabilized, but some users might still be worried. Early buyers especially may wonder if the phone will be as fast and reliable as expected. And that concern is fair, because while the Exynos 2500 might work well enough, it probably won't match the raw speed and performance of the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which many other flagship phones will be using. Here's the thing, if Samsung keeps the price of the Z Flip 7 the same as last year, or even raises it slightly, and you're getting a slower chip inside, that might not sit well with some buyers. People expect progress, and if the performance feels like a step sideways or worse backwards, it could hurt how the phone is received. Now, while the Z Flip 7 may be getting this change, its sibling, the Galaxy Z Fold 7, appears to be sticking with the Snapdragon 8 Elite. That's what all the recent leaks say, including the latest report. So the Fold 7 should be on par with the best Android phones of the year when it comes to power. But this makes the Flip 7 situation even more awkward. Why is one foldable getting the top-tier Snapdragon and the other getting the in-house chip? That's going to be a tough sell for some. Production of both devices is reportedly starting in May, and for the Z Flip 7, Samsung is initially planning to make around 200,000 units. That's not a huge number, but it gives them flexibility. If demand spikes, or if the chip performs better than expected, they can always increase production quickly. Interestingly, there's no new information in the report about the Galaxy Z Flip FE or Z Flip 7 FE, the more affordable foldable we've been hearing rumors about. That could mean it's coming later than the main Flip 7 and Fold 7 models. It's also rumored to use an Exynos 2400 processor, which might help keep the price down. So, what do you think? Would you buy a Flip 7 with an Exynos chip inside, or would you hold out for the Snapdragon-powered Fold 7 or even wait for the Flip FE? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to stay up to date with all the latest leaks and updates on Samsung's foldables, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Is Samsung getting ready to shake up its launch schedule to go head-to-head with Apple? That's what it looks like. According to recent reports, Samsung might move the unveiling of its Galaxy S26 series earlier than usual, possibly to December 2025. If true, that would mean Samsung could start taking pre-orders before the year even ends. It's a smart strategy if they want to shorten the gap between the Galaxy S26 and Apple's iPhone 17 series, which typically launches in September. This change could also have something to do with Qualcomm's plans. The new Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 processor, the one expected to power the Galaxy S26 Ultra in every region, may get its big reveal in September instead of October, which has been Qualcomm's usual timing. The earlier launch would allow phone makers like Samsung to get their new models out faster. Why the sudden rush? One reason could be Qualcomm trying to get ahead of MediaTek, its main competitor. MediaTek is also planning to unveil its own next-generation chip, Dimensity 9500, around the same time. Both chips are expected to be built using TSMC's third-generation 3-nanometer process, so the competition is tight. If Qualcomm wants to make headlines and stay in the spotlight, beating MediaTek to the punch is one way to do it. But there's another benefit for Samsung. By announcing the Galaxy S26 series earlier, it keeps its newest phones fresh in people's minds, just as the iPhone hype is peaking. It also means Samsung could potentially have two flagship phone launches, the Galaxy S25 and the Galaxy S26, with pre-orders both happening in the same calendar year. So what can we expect from the Galaxy S26 Ultra and the new Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 chip? This processor is expected to bring serious upgrades. We're talking about improved Pegasus CPU cores,
with a maximum clock speed that could reach 5 GHz. That's incredibly fast. It will also support the upcoming LPDDR6 RAM standard and come with a new Adreno 840 graphics unit, which is rumored to be about 30% more powerful than the current one. As for the structure of the chip, Qualcomm is keeping the same 2+6 core setup as the current Snapdragon 8 Elite. That means 2 prime cores and 6 performance cores. The prime cores could reach speeds of up to 4.32 GHz, though the special for Galaxy version might be overclocked even higher. Overall, this chip is said to offer around a 25% boost in performance. When will we actually see phones with this new chip? If everything goes according to the leaked timeline, we could see flagship Android phones running the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 starting as early as October. That means Samsung might not be the only one to benefit from the early chip launch. In terms of global availability, the Galaxy S26 Ultra will likely be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 everywhere, including in the United States, Canada, and China. But the regular Galaxy S26 and Galaxy S26 Plus might use Samsung's own Exynos 2600 chip in some regions, especially outside of North America. So if you're a fan of Samsung's flagship phones or just like to keep up with the latest tech news, it's looking like the Galaxy S26 series could arrive sooner than expected and pack a serious performance punch. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel.
How much would you pay for a new Galaxy phone with a curved screen and top-end specs? Because Samsung's upcoming Galaxy S25 Edge might cost more than you think. The pricing hasn't been officially announced yet, but Samsung may have accidentally revealed it on their own website. That's right, this leak didn't come from some sketchy source or a random tweet. It came straight from Samsung Canada, and it's giving us a strong clue about where this new phone stands in their lineup. Here's what happened. Samsung ran a promotion in Canada where you could get a discount on a Galaxy Tab S10 FE if you bought a Galaxy S25 or certain home appliances. In the fine print of that deal, someone spotted something very interesting, a listing for the Galaxy S25 Edge along with its prices. These numbers weren't guesses. They were listed right there on an official Samsung page, and they give us a pretty good idea of what kind of price tag the S25 Edge is going to carry. According to the listing, the 256GB version of the Galaxy S25 Edge is priced at $1,678.99 Canadian dollars. The 512GB version is listed at $1,858.99 Canadian dollars now. When you convert those numbers to US dollars, we're looking at about $1,200 for the base model and around $1,340 for the higher storage option. That's definitely not budget friendly. In fact, it places the Galaxy S25 Edge in a very premium spot, more expensive than the regular Galaxy S25 and even competing with top-end iPhones or foldable phones like Samsung's own Galaxy Z Fold models. So what does this tell us? First, the S25 Edge is not going to be just another version of the regular Galaxy S25. It looks like Samsung is setting this up as something special, maybe with a sleeker design, more advanced display tech, or some extra features that haven't been confirmed yet. We already know Samsung has shown off the device at a few events, but even though people have seen it in person, the full specs and pricing details have been kept quiet until now. This leak changes things. It sets expectations and tells us that if you're planning to buy the S25 Edge, you should be ready to spend a lot. The pricing makes it clear. This phone is targeting people who want a top-of-the-line experience and are willing to pay a premium for it. Now, of course, prices in Canada don't always match the prices of the US or other countries. There are taxes, currency differences, and other things that can affect the final cost. But still, this gives us the clearest hint so far about what to expect. And if that $1,200 starting price holds, then Samsung is clearly putting this device up against the best of the best. Think iPhone Pro Max level, not the standard Galaxy S25. It's a bold move, and it shows that the company sees real potential in this Edge model. The official launch is set for May 13th, and that's when we'll get all the confirmed details, like the full list of specs, design, camera upgrades, and maybe even some unexpected features. Until then, this leak gives us something to think about. Is the Galaxy S25 Edge worth that kind of money? Will it offer enough to stand out from other premium phones, or is Samsung simply trying to test the waters with a fresh design and a big price tag? Let us know what you think. Would you pay over $1,000 for a curved Galaxy phone, or are you sticking with the standard models? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update on Samsung's new releases.